And welcome back to the bi-weekly Who Would Win. As I said, it's double trouble who would win this week, as I kind of got partially lazy and also just was kind of running out of time to do things. So, with working full time and whatnot. So I had to, put off doing the Who Would Win for a little bit, mostly because I just didn't get around to doing it. I apologize for that. But we're compensating by giving you 2 whole Who Would Wins today. It is amazing. It is Wacky Friday, Wacky Thursdays, Random Thursdays, whatever. And Lunala versus Solgaleo. Now, I had to redo this, not redo this video, but I had to rethink my stance on it, because unlike Xerneas and Yveltal, I actually thought that both Solgaleo and Lunala had the exact same stats. As it turns out, though, they do have some subtle differences. Now, they do have the exact same speed. They have the exact same amount of HP, and we're talking about base levels, obviously. And they have the exact same... Actually, no, that's where their similarities end. Now, Solgaleo has the advantage in attack at 137 its base attack, 107 base defense, whereas Lunala comes in at 113 base attack and 89 defense. It definitely got on the weak side for its base defense. However, he comes in at a nice 107 for his special defense, whereas Solgaleo comes in at 89. Yeah, and his special attack is 137, whereas Solgaleo's special attack is only 113. Solgaleo's is special... Wait, no, hold on, what's going on? Solgaleo's special attack is 113. Whereas Lunala's is 137. Sorry, so confusing. Now, both of them have abilities that could... Lunala's, I think, might definitely come into a fray, assuming he gets hit with anything but Solgaleo's signature move. Basically, Solgaleo has full metal body, which is pretty much mold breaker. Prevents other Pokemon's moves or abilities from lowering this Pokemon's stats. So, alright, that's fine. Shadow Shield for Lunala. To reduce damage inflicted on this Pokemon when at max hit points by 50%. It is not affected by moves or abilities that would ignore the abilities such as Mold Breaker, Moongeist Beam, or Sunsteel Strike. Meaning, so even Solgaleo's signature move, just like Lunala's signature move, would not work. So Lunala is going to have the initial advantage when it comes to the very beginning of the fight. It's also given the fact that Lunala can fly, giving it much more maneuverability than Solgaleo, because they both have the same amount of speed. But being in the air means that Solgaleo can only use long-range attacks to try to hurt Lunala. Now, apart from their signature abilities, they do have a different moveset that they each can learn. Now, Solgaleo is a Steel Psychic type, whereas Lunala is a Ghost Psychic type. Now, Ghost versus Psychic, both are actually weak to the other, but they both have... Lunala has a Psychic type subtype to go with that. In fact, I believe its primary typing actually is Psychic. So, yeah, Psychic. So, it's going to actually be able to offset some of the damage it may receive from Psychic type attacks. Dark type attacks will wreck its shit. But it also has immunity from normal and fighting type attacks. So those are going to go right out the door. Steel typing doesn't have any significant weakness to Psychic or Ghost. Honestly, the one who has the advantage here overall is going to lean towards Lunala in terms for typing, because Psychic is already weak to Ghost. Steel doesn't have any special resistance or weakness to Ghost. Therefore, Domino, down, come on, off the table. Good girl. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Domino was being a not listening girl. You were not listening. Now, both these guys, thanks to coming from Cosmog and Cosmion, I believe its name is, can learn Causing Power and Teleport. After that, it becomes a very interesting Very interesting combination. Now, with Lunala, it's primarily psychic and ghost type attacks, but it can learn a couple other attacks. So basically, hypnosis it can learn. Teleport, as I said, Cosmog. So both these guys can learn that. Confusion it can learn. It learns Nightshade, which when we're talking about levels is a very big deal. Confuse Ray, very, very good attack. Air Slash wouldn't really factor into this fight, and Lunala, knowing Solgaleo and all that, would know this. So Air Slash is not going to matter because of that damn steel typing. Shadow Ball, another great attack. Moonlight Beam, which is a fairy type attack, which I believe is weak to steel, so unfortunately that would not be a very useful attack. Night Daze, which is an interesting deck. Let's Pitch Black, Shockwave, may lower a target's accuracy. Very useful attack. Magic Coat, which is a barrier that basically affects moves like Leech Seed back and moves that damage status, which is a very interesting attack. I don't know if it would play effect in this fight. Moonblast, fairy type. Dream Eater, which if it can put Solgaleo to sleep, probably is going to be the end all be all. Phantom Force, which is essentially the ghost equivalent of flying, but it's a physical attack. Wide Guard, which the user and size are protected from wide range attacks for one turn, so things like Earthquake and stuff will not hurt it for one turn, or Surf. And then Hyper Beam is a standard one. Solgaleo, on the other hand, has a much more unique and honestly diversified moveset. Metal Sound, Iron Head, Metal Claw, all great attacks. It's going to be, not a huge... It's got no set... so far, none of these attacks it can learn are super effective against Lunala. They'll hurt him and maybe eventually put him down, but not super effective. Zen Headbutt, Flash Cannon, Morning Sun, which is an interesting one. It's a normal type attack that reduces users' own HP. The amount of HP... restores it. Restores the HP, but it depends on the weather. So I have, obviously, if Morning Sun, based on its name, if it's essentially like Recover. So if it's like sunny, it's going to recover more. Crunch is the only dark type attack it learns naturally, and the only one that would do ×4 damage to Lunala. So if they can get a Crunch on Lunala, I think it can no longer survive one Crunch. But after that, it's pretty safe to say Lunala will be down for the count. The user Metal Burst, which is a better version of Metal Sound, which actually does damage. Solar Beam, which is unique. He learns a grass type move and a powerful one of that. Noble Roar, stronger not that one. I was thinking of Echo. Letting out Roar, Noble Roar, user intimidates the target and lowers his attack. Flare Blitz, fire type attack, being the Pokemon of the sun, it makes sense it learns one fire type move. Like Lunala, it can learn Wide Guard, and unlike Lunala, it learns Giga Impact, which is also far more powerful than I believe Hyper Beam. No, it's not far more powerful. It's just the physical equivalent of that. I take it back. So without further ado, how does this fight break down? Well, I'm not going to go into a super in-depth... I didn't write down the fight, is what I'm saying. I can basically give you the gist of who I think is going to win and why they're going to win. But let's say these guys meet in the Ultra Beast, so the Ultraverse, whatever it was called. And Lunala and Solgaleo are fighting. So how does the fight break down? Well, Solgaleo is going to have to rely on any sort of long-range attacks it has, which are going to fall into the category of Solar Beam, Noble Roar, Metal Burst, Flash Cannon, and Metal Sound. Those are about all the long-range attacks it has. The only way it's going to be able to use a close-range physical attack is if Lunala is close enough to the ground that it can charge in and hit him, or that Lunala suddenly is down on the ground. So it's got to bring Lunala in close. And being that these guys come from the exact same Pokemon, they're going to know each other's abilities more or less. So with that being said, I imagine Solgaleo is probably going to throw out things like either Noble Roar, just maybe Lunala gets hit by it a little bit, but it's not going to be doing anything. They're going to just start firing Flash Cannon or Metal Sound or Metal Burst at Lunala. Lunala's going to... but Metal Burst is difficult in the sense that not difficult to use. Difficult in damage in the sense that the user retaliates with much more greater force than the opponent inflicted last on him. So until Solgaleo gets damaged, it will not use Metal Burst, meaning it's going to pretty much have to rely on Noble Roar, Solar Beam, and Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon, so Noble Roar is probably going to be flying. Well, maybe hit a little bit, but he's pretty much avoiding him. Then Solgaleo is going to charge up a Solar Beam, and at that point, then you get Lunala firing a Shadow Ball, just boom. And ergo, assuming he gets clipped by any attacks, his 50%, his ability of Shadow Shield will take effect, so he's probably not going to take really any damage from that. So, and he's going to fire Shadow Ball, Solar Beam and Shadow Ball are going to collide. Solar Beam's going to win out in terms of overall power. However, that's the attack, but however, both being specials, Lunala holds the edge in special attacks, so I think they're just going to cancel each other out. Lunala's going to swipe in or come in with a sorry, I thought I heard something. We'll come in with a Nightshade, hit Solgaleo. Solgaleo's going to be hit with a Nightshade, given the fact they're legendaries. The level's going to be pretty high. Now, Solgaleo's got Lunala where he wants him, so now it's immediately going to go in with a Full Metal Sunsteel Strike and just slam, just boom. Now, it does ignore the it ignores abilities of special abilities of a Pokemon, and unfortunately the Shadow Shield's already been used. So now Solgaleo gets a massive hit. Solgaleo, I'm going to do that back and forth. I apologize. Lunala's going to be smashed back. Lunala's also going to hit him with a Nightshade, just blast again. Solgaleo. Solgaleo is now extremely hurt because for typing wise, both these attacks are ghost types against its psychic and steel type. So these are going to really hurt. Solgaleo needs to start recovering. So Solgaleo does a Morning Song. And we'll just say it has maximum effect. Doesn't fully increase its power, but more or less gives him about a 50% boost. He's not 100% there. So yeah, then now he's about to come in with now that he's healed and Lunala's about flapping again. Excuse me. Solgaleo's charging in now with a Giga Impact and basically just finish off. No, Confuse Ray, uses Confusion Ray, or Confuse Ray, just now he's just, Solgaleo just smashes into the wall. Just, Now, and Lunala comes in with Shadow Force, or Phantom Force, sorry, just disappears. Solgaleo's confused at the moment, but maybe snaps out of it, wondering where it is. Wondering where that damn Lunala went. He's getting ready for a flare, but it's just fire. And then Phantom Force comes in, just smacks right into him. But being a physical ghost type attack against his physical defense, gonna hurt a lot. But he's going to be able to recover from it all right. Then the Flare Blitz happens. The entire area gets damaged. Lunala gets hurt a lot. Lunala's even burned. But the user's also been hurt. So now they're both on the whatever Lunala says. But little Solgaleo uses the Morning Song again. So he's slow recovering. However, this time it ain't going down that way with so basically Lunala is not going to give him the opportunity to do that. So he's going to use Moongeist Beam while he's doing that. Blast him point blank. Or not point blank, but basically pretty close that he's going to get a point-blank equivalent attack. And basically it hurts regardless of ability. So just blasts Solgaleo while he's mid-healing. Solgaleo's not down, and Lunala's burned to hell. Or burned to hell, but still burnt. So now Solgaleo just comes in ready for the final attack with a Sunsteel Strike. Or Giga Impact to take your poison. Lunala's going to go for the Hypnosis, and here's where it basically comes down to it. If the Hypnosis works, Lunala will win this, because Lunala will then immediately use Dream Eater to siphon all the rest of his HP away and restore his own HP. Problem is, how often does Hypnosis hit the opponent? And that is a deciding factor in this. So who wins this the majority? And I will give you the exact percentage of how many times. Lunala wins this 60% of the time because Hypnosis has a 60% accuracy rating. So therefore, 6 out of 10 times, Lunala wins this, Dream Eaters the shit out of Solgaleo, and basically recovers his HP and gets the hell out of there. But the 40% of the time Solgaleo comes in, smashes into Lunala and beats Lunala. So there you go. It's great when you actually have accuracy readings to understand the true percentage of the win ratio. Because these guys are not... Lunala is the special attacker to Solgaleo's physical attacker. And therefore, if one uses a physical or special attack against the other, respectively, it's not going to do as much because the other has the edge in that category. So it comes down to one typing, moves of type against the respective types, which Lunala just has more type advantage techniques than Solgaleo does. Because Solgaleo can learn Wake Up Slap, which doesn't do a damn thing. Giga Impact doesn't do a damn thing because of Ghost Attack. Noble Roar actually doesn't do a damn thing. So actually, I kind of started this thing out wrong to begin with because of the damn Ghost technique. The only technique he really has is Crunch, which that's actually will do a multiplier damage against him, is Crunch. Flare Bitch could kill him. Solar Beam could kill him. Any of the Steel type attacks could kill or bring him down. However, Lunala has Nightshade, Confuse Ray, and Hypnosis, which both would mess Solgaleo up if they are used effectively. Shadow Ball, Phantom Force, Moongeist Beam, Hyper Beam, and Night Daze. So he has far more attacks that can actually do a multiplier damage of like critical hits and super effectives versus Solgaleo, who really doesn't have anything besides Crunch that does that. So overall, it's I say 60% of the time though, simply because they're night and day, literally. So anyway, that's my thoughts on who would win between Solgaleo and Lunala. Forgive me my mispronunciation of Solgaleo. It's a pronunciation kind of thing, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic, anything I do on the channel, put it in the comments below. I will get to it at some point. I'd like to make you guys part of the channel. I will be back in a little bit with another who would win. Until then,